Upbeat, slightly mysterious jazz music begins, then fades to a background hum. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're peeling back the glittery, vibrant mask of one of America's most beloved cities. We're heading down to the Crescent City, New Orleans. Now, when you think of New Orleans, what comes to mind? Is it the non-stop party on Bourbon Street, the incredible jazz music spilling out of every doorway? Or maybe the delicious scent of beignets and gumbo? You're not wrong. That's the New Orleans they sell you in the brochures. But what about the other side? The side they don't always tell you about. That's what we're here to explore today. We're going beyond the beads and the balconies to uncover the deeper, more complex, and dare I say darker truths of America's most enchanting and haunted city. So grab your coffee and chicory, because this is the New Orleans they're not telling you about. Let's start with the city's very foundation. New Orleans is, in many ways, an impossible city, built on a swamp, below sea level. It's in a constant, quiet battle with water. The Mississippi River, the very thing that gave the city life, is also its greatest threat. For centuries, engineers have worked to tame the river with a massive system of levees. But these levees, while protecting the city from the river, have also caused the ground beneath it to sink, creating a bowl-like effect. This isn't just a quirky geographical fact. It's a daily reality for the people living there. It means that when storms come, and they always come, the city is uniquely vulnerable. The vibrant culture of New Orleans was born from this precarious existence. A spirit of living each day to the fullest because you never know what tomorrow might bring. This constant environmental pressure shapes the city's soul in ways most visitors never see. Now, let's talk about the history that truly gives New Orleans its dark reputation. Long before it was a tourist hotspot, New Orleans was a major hub of the transatlantic slave trade. The wealth and grandeur of the French Quarter were quite literally built on the backs of enslaved people. While many cities try to sanitize this part of their history, in New Orleans, the ghosts of the past are impossible to ignore. They linger in the architecture, in the stories, and in the very names of the streets. Places like the LaLaurie Mansion are famous for their ghost tours. But the true horror isn't about spooky apparitions. It's about the very real, documented suffering that took place within those walls. This history isn't just a dark footnote. It's the bedrock of the city's unique cultural fusion. The incredible food, the soul-stirring music, the spiritual traditions like Vodou. Many of these cultural treasures were forged in the crucible of immense hardship and resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to create beauty even in the darkest of times. And you can't talk about New Orleans without talking about voodoo. For most outsiders, the word conjures images of dolls and curses, thanks to Hollywood. But this is a massive misunderstanding. Louisiana voodoo is a legitimate, complex religion with deep African roots, blended with Catholicism and local traditions. It's not about black magic. It's a spiritual practice centered on community, healing, and honoring ancestors. The voodoo queens of the 19th century, like the legendary Marie Laveau, were not witches, but powerful community leaders, healers, and spiritual guides. They held immense influence in a society that gave them very little official power. Today, voodoo is still practiced in New Orleans, but it's often hidden in plain sight. Commercialized for tourists, while its true practitioners maintain its sacred traditions away from the public eye. The dark reputation of voodoo is really a story of cultural misunderstanding and prejudice. The real magic of New Orleans is found in this spiritual resilience. Let's fast forward to a more recent darkness, a wound that is still healing. Hurricane Katrina. When the levees broke in 2005, the world watched in horror as 80% of the city was submerged. But the story they didn't always show on the news was the incredible disparity of the disaster. The flooding disproportionately devastated the city's lower income, predominantly African American neighborhoods, like the lower Ninth Ward. Many of these areas have never fully recovered, while the tourist centers like the French Quarter bounced back relatively quickly. Other parts of the city are still dealing with the aftermath. You can still see the water lines on abandoned houses, a stark reminder of the tragedy. But what you'll also see is unbelievable strength. You'll see community gardens in once flooded lots, neighbors helping neighbors rebuild, and a fierce determination to preserve their culture and their home. The spirit of New Orleans wasn't washed away by the flood. In many ways, it was revealed. It's a spirit of survival against all odds. This brings us to the New Orleans of today. The city is a paradox. It's a place of immense joy and deep-seated sorrow. It has one of the most vibrant and unique cultures in the world. Yet it also struggles with high rates of poverty and crime. The tourism industry that fuels its economy also threatens to displace the very culture that visitors come to see, a process often called Disneyfication. As historic neighborhoods gentrify, the musicians, artists, and families who have lived there for generations are being priced out. So, the party on Bourbon Street, with its neon lights and giant cocktails, exists side by side with a community fighting to hold on to its soul. The real New Orleans isn't just in the tourist spots. It's in the neighborhood's second-line parades, the backyard crawfish boils, and the local music clubs far from the French Quarter. It's in the pride and resilience of its people. So what's the takeaway here? Is New Orleans a dark city? Yes, if by dark you mean complex, layered, and steeped in a history of struggle. But it's that very darkness that makes its light shine so incredibly bright. The joy in New Orleans isn't frivolous, it's earned. The music isn't just entertainment, it's a form of prayer and survival. The culture isn't a performance for tourists. It's a living, breathing testament to the city's tumultuous past and its unbreakable spirit. The story they aren't telling you is that you can't have the magic of New Orleans without its shadows. The two are woven together, inseparable. To truly appreciate the beauty of the Crescent City, you have to acknowledge its pain. It's a city that teaches you that life, in all its messy, tragic, and glorious forms, is something to be celebrated loudly and with as much music as possible. So next time you plan a trip, or even just think about New Orleans, I encourage you to look beyond the surface. Yes, eat the beignets, listen to the jazz, and enjoy the party, but also take a moment to learn about the history. Support local businesses outside the main tourist traps, and listen to the stories of the people who call this incredible, impossible city home. That's where you'll find the real, unfiltered, and unforgettable soul of New Orleans. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey today. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you been to New Orleans? What was your experience? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious.